Okay, just going to run through the spec on my Magician, who is max level, max OVR. Power contact, however you want them. I like a little more contact, a little more accuracy. Correction, you only need to put points in correction if you're using swing stick and you want the swing to be a little more straight up and down. Otherwise, you can ignore correction if you do 3-click, or you're just good at turning the joystick, the controller to the side to get the correct up and down swing. Put more points in swing path. As a Magician, they start out with higher recovery. I got mine to about 85. Put the rest in shaping. Rhythm and transition, pretty even. Again, with swing stick, putt weight and rhythm are a little bit more important than the swing path and contact. As long as you're good at swinging the stick up and down, these two shouldn't come into play too much. But if you're a little bit iffy with hitting the transition mark and then flicking the joystick forward to get your rhythm, then put points there. Okay, T, obviously the standard tee shot, you want all 4 points. I do go with the choke tee shot, that's used a lot. Narrow fairways, you want to keep it tight, keep that accuracy window a little tighter, better for you. Also, it can help with taking a little bit off your shot. Let's say you want to shorten it by a few yards. Stinger's good for getting under the wind. It's a low shot that'll run out a little bit, and good for those. Or if you just want to get it under a tree that might be close to the edge of the fairway off the tee. And then of course the power drive is when you want to just let it rip. I have all of these just so I have options off the tee. Depending on the course, I can use any one of these or the wind conditions. Approach, keep it simple. Nothing over here do I use. So approach, you want all 4 points. You want all 4 points in pitch. And then choked approach, just like the choked tee shot. You can get a little more accuracy while taking a little bit off your shot. Off the deck, that's hitting a driver off of the fairway. Not too many situations where you need to do that. Runner, again, unless you're going for some of the quests that require some of these shots, or runner's one you're almost never going to use. Spinner could be one if you felt like that would be one you could, you'd have to swap something out, but I prefer just to if a pitch isn't a good shot for me, hopefully I can shorten an approach, or I can use a long flop or something like that. Rarely do I find the need to actually use a spinner. Again, a knockdown is something I don't use. I think I had it on my sculptor just so I could get the quests that require so many of a knockdown shot. Okay, recovery. You can see, even though I'm a magician, I don't have the recovery skill, which is their skill. I actually unlocked it on a different magician, but rarely, I find that I would rarely ever use that. But anyhow, so you get all 4 points in the punch, all 4 points in the flop, and then all 4 points in the super flop, including the shot itself. You could use a choked punch if you wanted, but again, you sacrifice something somewhere else. So I'm just showing you my build and the shots that I use. It's rare that you use a punch. If you really need a choked punch, it's going to be very rare. If you do want to go to recovery, definitely go through the super flop. Super flop's almost a required shot that you want to take. Same with the bunker. The bunker pick is unlocked by the technician. You want to take all the points in the splash. That's the basic shot. You go. Don't use blast. It's yeah. As you can see in the graphic, it's a shot that you just get up onto the green and let it roll out. Most of the time, you're coming out of the bunker. You're going to just use the regular splash shot, or if you can, the pick shot. This is the big one. You really want to get this one on a technician. So all the points in that one, and then the power pick is basically like a pick shot, but from a fairway bunker. It's rarely used, but it's a better path to go through this, because this shot is required for a specific quest. If you want to get all the quests done. And then green, of course, you want to get the green reader. It makes the grid of the green much tinier and gives you more lines to read the green more accurately. Of course, you still want to take all the points in putting, chipping, and then I'd go through the bump and run versus the lag putt. It's your choice, but the bump and run again is one that's required for a specific quest, so I would take the path through that down this side, and again go through the Texas wedge, which the Texas wedge is also one that's required for a quest. Get 10 shots with the Texas wedge. Rarely will you ever use this unless you're doing that quest, trying to get that part of the quest completed. But that's your path to the green reader, and then of course that's the one you really want to get for all of your characters if you can. And then this is just a quick rundown of the through season 4, the clubhouse pass. You got tie spinner, the long flop, which is basically the flop, but it's a little bit longer, so you can get out there. It's kind of like in between a flop and a pitch. You can use the long flop. It won't quite get as far as a pitch, but it's useful. And then of course the lob. The lob is sort of like a flop, but when it lands, it runs out a lot longer. So you have to have some green available for the ball to run out. And then the final one that just opened up in season 4 is the power approach. So I find myself using this occasionally. You're 275 out. If your 3-wood only goes 250, if there's room and it's safe, do the power approach. Kind of like the power drive. It's a little less accurate than the regular approach, but if you have the room to get it, to safely get it to where you want to go, that can be an option. And that's it. That's my spec for my max level 100.